What the heck is going on? I guess I smell them before I see them, but there's like been more skunk roadkill in the last week than there has been. I mean, we're talking like my usual. Maybe they're following me. I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, you travel pretty
we're seeing
far
a lot
away.
of them. Yeah, all of them down the turnpike. You smell it now.
Oh my gosh! So what's going on? What's going on? So skunks, they don't hibernate. They go through a state of what's called torpor. And what that means is that they're kind of hibernating. They're everything. It's like a milder form of hibernation. Everything slows down and the body temperature reduces. And it basically is to conserve energy and food during cold weather, during the winter, basically. And it doesn't it's not like it lasts for a long time. It could be a short time. It could only be a few days, or it could be for a longer period, for I guess a month or so. Now, I think that those guys in Hobner Hill, or wherever they take out the groundhog to see a shadow.
I didn't know they had a name.
Oh yeah, Hobbler's Knob.
I mustn't have. I wasn't deep in the culture like that.
Hobbler's Knob. Well, and they have one in Staten Island.
Grandmama says spring's gonna come when spring comes.
Well,
right.
But I think spring's going to come when the skunks are out.
Okay.
And because what they're doing is males are searching for a mate.
All right.
This is cue the Barry White music.
Show you right. Show you right.
Yeah.
Right on. Right. You silly man. I gotta stop. Sorry.
But that's what's happening. They are looking for let's start a family.
They're getting frisky.
They are getting frisky.
All right.
Like in all types of animals, of course the ladies have to say. So these wandering skunks are probably males that are getting hit by cars, and that there are they're different courting techniques. But I know I had a cat one time, and it used to be an outside cat and inside cat, which I found out no longer is acceptable in the I don't know, whatever the places where you get cats these days.
Okay.
That I had to sign a paper on the cats that I have now. I have 2 cats where I wouldn't allow them outside. I wouldn't declaw them.
Right.
And I said, well, I kind of thought to myself, what's the difference between declawing them if I don't let them outside? Anyway, I would have much nicer furniture now.
Sure.
But any case, I had this one cat. It was a calico, and it was a hunter. Mm-hmm. It would bring in things. I think I told a story about it. Brought a rabbit in the house. Yeah. It was like, as much as I was like, oh great, I got to take care of the rabbit incident. But I was like, that's my cat. That's my cat. The hunter brought in a rabbit.
What color was it?
My cat or the rabbit?
The calico. Oh, the calico.
Well, calico's
cat.
calico.
The yellow, kind of like
No.
I don't know.
Calico's white with little splashes of orange.
Orange.
Yeah, and that where they're all female.
Okay.
There are no male calicos. All right. And if you want to argue that, call someone else. That's what I was always told. So this cat is chasing after a skunk about 3 feet behind it, and I'm watching it outside at night, and it's chasing after the skunk, and all I'm thinking is like, tomato juice thing does not work. And but it gave up. But it was about this time of the year where the skunks are becoming active there, and that there are, look on the side of the road,
right?
Smell in your neighborhood. If you smell something, it's been hit. But they generally don't spray unless they're threatened or run over. So the problem is that they'll find places like under a shed, under a deck. That's what I'm afraid of. That they'll go and find a place to call home under a deck. So you got to do things like start hiding all. Remember those lids that you got with the garbage cans? It's time to start using them. Because they will crawl. They'll get into stuff. They will go after your trash, pet food, like you feed pets outside, bird feeders. They'll even go after bird feeders. Not so much that they can climb so well, but if you're like a ground feeder of birds or squirrels, they will. Like their fat reserves are pretty much winding down. They spent all fall basically getting fat. so they could live off of those fat reserves in that state of torpor, that semi-hibernation state. So now what are they doing? It's because it's mating season, and it's a specific season. It starts now. It's February through March, and they're just looking for the ladies. So, but I find this amazing. Like, so skunks, how long? So, what did we just see recently on the news that it was the governor of Minnesota says that mothers are not to be under they're inseminated females or something like that. I know the world is crazy.
Yeah.
But considering skunks, the gestational period for a skunk would be how long? So mates, has babies.
I would say somewhere around like 3 months, maybe.
3 months? You're close. 60 to 75 days.
Oh, okay.
That to me, that's fast.
Yeah, that's
a
fast.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah, because I only reason why I remember is because in North Jersey we had skunks on the property behind us on a lot that was not maintained well. And
there you go.
I remember I saw one skunk, and then 3 or 4 months later I saw like 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Baby skunks.
There you go.
Well, they weren't even like small, but they were, you can tell they were young.
They stay with their mom for a long time.
Huh.
Like they don't, it's not like you're on your own, kids. And that's interesting. What is a baby skunk called?
I don't know. Skunkette?
Kit.
A what?
A kit.
Like K-I-T-T?
One T.
One T. Okay.
Okay. Skunk kits are born blind and helpless. They rely on their mother for warmth and food. And after about 8 weeks, they begin to explore that. But the mother skunks teach their young survival skills, finding food, avoiding predators, and they stay with their mother until fall. That's a long time. So if they're born in, I don't know, let's say May, right? So we got 2 months, so it's April, May. Yeah, so they're born in May, so they're staying all the way into like October. And if you've ever noticed, it seems like there's a lot of skunk activity in October. One, because they're fattening up for the winter, but also because now you have moms saying, all right, get out of the nest. It's hard enough to take care of myself.
Right.
Yeah, parents get that way.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
They are omnivores, so they eat both plant and animal. So one of the big things, if you have scratch marks in your lawn, or you have like where it looks like digging marks in your lawn, a lot of times that's skunks going after grubs that are overwintering in your lawn. So that's earthworms they'll do, but the grub thing is make sure you put down a grub control. And it's not so, like, look, if you don't give a darn about your lawn, but you don't want to have skunks, still put the grub control down. Now, we prefer that you have a nice lawn that includes green grass, not crabgrass, that you do the whole thing where you're going to feed and everything else. But killing the grubs in your lawn will prevent the skunks from coming to try to dig them up. And also other types of, like, for instance, moles and, let's see, moles are meat eaters. So moles are the ones that will go in, tunnel through your grass, and that's where you turn your ankle when you're walking through the lawn.
Yep.
That they're going after the grubs. And that voles, remember this from other shows, everybody, those of you that listen. So moles begin with an M, so they're meat eaters, and voles begin with a V, and they're the ones that eat the roots because they're vegetarians. Easy to remember, but we'll remind you, don't worry. So what do? What about repellents? Absolutely, repellents do work, but they have to be put down on a regular basis. And remember, with most, if not all repellents, what you're doing, you're trying to scare them somewhere else. You're modifying behavior so that they're not going into your yard, but going somewhere else. So it's going to be, it's something that you just need to do. And if you're putting the repellents down, you need to redo it like every other week. And you just need to make sure that they don't think it was a one and done episode. You have to have them associate your yard, your home, your deck, your shed with that scent that they don't like. And one of the things that are in that, Repelzol is a repellent from bonide, and it works very, very well. And it works on a whole bunch of different things, with deer, raccoons, rabbits, squirrels, skunks. And it has natural ingredients, and it can last up to, there's that keyword, up to 60 days. It's probably, with rainy season in the spring, it's probably going to last maybe 10 days. So do it every 2 weeks. And what's in it is whole egg solids. It's mostly cloves and garlic oil, and that they get that, and it gets up into their nose. And all of these animals that we're talking about have really strong scent glands, and it irritates those scent glands, and that it makes them want to, like, it basically makes them want to run, and it gives them a flight response. And they want to avoid that area. So you want to keep doing that. You want to keep doing that on a regular basis. Don't. It's not one and done. It's not one, especially with deer. If the Repelzol is going to do everything, keep it out in your garden where you want to protect, so you don't have to remember to go into your garage or your shed or whatever. And that, just pick it up and use it, and every time you walk by it. That's the best way. That's the best way. Now, again, there are some other things that work. Dried blood is a fertilizer that's used, and it really is dried blood, but it's high in nitrogen. And as an organic fertilizer, people use it for that, but it also repels certain animals. So, and skunks would be one of them. I don't know if this is true. This could be an internet thing. I don't really know. But Pine Sol, it's not labeled for a skunk repellent, but it is said that it repels skunks. So if you're smelling them, they're looking for a mate, and you don't want to house a family of skunks around your deck, around your pool, around your shed, or anywhere around your home, because nobody wants to get surprised at night and go into work the next day with a new cologne. So again, start using the repellents. And again, they're just looking to do their thing. They're looking to raise a family, and they're not only they're looking for a mate, but they're looking for a place where the kits can be raised. So, on our table, if you watch us on YouTube, and if you don't, look us up on YouTube, Bloomers in the Garden, and you'll see our video. And we have Daisy the skunk represented on our table. It's a nice concrete statue. Skunks are kind of cute when they're little. But then if they're always going to spray you, I don't know, then you can forget it. All right. If you have questions about skunks, about moles, about voles, about rabbits, about deer, about cats and dogs, just give us a call on Bloomers in the Garden Hotline. You know that number, 609-685-1880.